WWE and TKO, the merger just keeps getting worse and worse. I will tell you my reasons why with some recent and breaking WWE news, and I'll point out some other reasons why I feel that way on Screw the Script Pro Wrestling. Before we get on to all of the reasons why I think this TKO merger is awful for WWE, I'll go over the one positive thing that has happened for WWE and the wrestling community in the last week. AEW and Mariah May have parted ways. Here's a photo here. And it's seeming like it's her going to WWE is the likely outcome. I'll be shocked if she shows up anywhere else. But Mariah May is officially done with AEW. That is a big loss for AEW, but they also just signed Thekla, and she is a great addition. Hopefully, she will fill that void that Mariah May is going to leave behind as she moves on, likely to WWE. So I just wanted to get that out of the way before I talk about all the reasons why I think TKO and the WWE merger is awful. Reason number one why I think the merger is terrible. We all saw the news in the last 48 hours. RTruth has been released by WWE. And here, this photo right there, I'll read it off my laptop and you guys can read it there. It says, according to a report from Wrestling Observer Radio, Triple H was responsible for the decision to release RTruth, and Carlito is also rumored to be going. The releases were part of a broader evaluation of roster size and budget, with the decision driven by financial considerations and the need to cut costs. Triple H's choices were based on these factors, leading to the selection of RTruth and Carlito for release. And I think we all know that that budget cut is probably going towards all these celebrities getting involved. I'm sure a good chunk of that's going to Travis Scott, even though he was a failure at WrestleMania and leading up to WrestleMania. And this is probably likely a higher-up decision cast down onto Triple H from TKO. On top of that, you have this now, the MIZ. His contract is likely almost done, and he's probably going to leave as well. The MIZ has removed everything WWE related from his Twitter or X. He's unfollowed WWE. His contract expires this year, most thinking it's likely in July. And this person put it best. They thought he was a lifer. A lot of these lifers, I feel like they're coming to terms and saying like, shit, like TKO sucks. And they do. They ruined the UFC, and now they're slowly ruining WWE as we know it. It's all about money for them. The biggest profit for the smallest amount of talent is basically what they want. They're going to cut ties with so many lifers that have been around, like RTruth and the MIZ, and Carlito was here, and then he left for a while and came back, and they really didn't do anything with him. There's going to be more. We're going to see more and more of this in the next, 3 to 6 months probably, and so forth. It's never going to stop. They are only going to keep the wrestlers that give them the greatest profit possible. They are a money-hungry machine, and they want to monopolize pro wrestling. That's why you saw that they bought AAA, and they're merging with TNA likely, and all of this stuff. TKO is trying to basically control the wrestling world and then maximize profit for themselves with the least amount of talent possible, because we all know if that merger happens with TNA and all these other places that's been happening, they're going to cut ties with a lot of these undercard wrestlers, which isn't fair. Not everybody can be a top elite star at the same time. It's pro wrestling. And this alone pisses me off. But now let's move on to the next point. You have guys like Jonathan Coachman, who was in WWE for the longest time, coming out about this stuff as well. Here's a photo for you to read. I'll read it to you. Coach says, I hope they start listening, because it's no longer just a few people saying this. It can't always be about every dollar you can make. The RTruth situation, I know there are other factors in play, but if you get rid of a great locker room guy who is universally loved by everyone, sometimes it's worth keeping them. House shows also used to save guys like RTruth, but now those don't exist. So if you aren't a TV performer, you better watch out. Sad day for wrestling fans who love to laugh. I love that second to last sentence where at the end he says, so if you aren't a TV performer. That's exactly what WWE feels like. It's just all performance. It's all theatrics. It's not even pro wrestling anymore. You look at Saturday night's main event, for a quick tangent off to the side real quick. I mean, look at that. That's abysmal ratings. And then if you pause and look closely, if you want to, those ratings for the matches are awful. What are those ratings? A steel cage match. No steel cage match should be 12 minutes only. Come on. Saturday night's main event was one of the worst WWE shows in a long time. And I feel like this is going to be more and more common going forward with the TKO merger. The steel cage debacle, the commentary on the steel cage was a huge fail. And now with RTruth gone, that just makes it look even worse because the main event was a wash. The guy who main evented against Cena on Saturday night's main event is gone now. He's gone. He's gone. The next thing is the fact that they want to control you, the people. Literally the reason why all of these wrestlers have jobs, why Triple H has a job, they are now asking fans, and I'm hoping this is not true. I'm hoping this is just a huge rumor that is going around, that's circulating, that is completely false. But I've seen it twice now from Fightful and Wrestling Observer Radio saying that WWE fans at NXT shows and now even during tapings for anything really, they have been asked not to swear during these tapings because they don't want to put, they don't want to censor all the swearing that may or may not happen from the fans. That is unbelievably ridiculous. TKO is treating WWE and making WWE basically become a fucking dictatorship. You, the fans, can't do this. You, the fans, can't chant for that. You, the fans, we don't care if you want these wrestlers to stay. We want the wrestlers to stay that make us the most amount of money. They don't care about you. TKO does not care for the pro wrestling fan. It was already terrible enough that WWE the last year, I want to say now, is really heavily become very just sports entertainment first and not pro wrestling. I mean, it is sports entertainment, but they used to have better pro wrestling. And now it's like sprinkled in there. You have Raws and SmackDowns that are, 60 to 70% just ads and promos and celeb spotlight and all that shit. And then you got little matches sprinkled in here and there, with the rare occasion of a match going longer than 15 minutes. But that doesn't happen too often anymore. And then even in their special shows, WrestleMania, I don't think there was a single match at WrestleMania longer than 30 minutes. I could be wrong. The only one that may have been longer than 30 minutes was probably the main event night 1 and then the main event night 2. I don't know if there's anything else after that, after those two matches that were over a half an hour. These wrestlers don't go in the ring anymore. The reason why I feel like this is bad is when you focus too much on sports entertainment and not pro wrestling, your wrestlers get gassed easily. They can't go as well in the ring. They can't last as long in the ring when it comes to matches. And then your top talent are all guys that are pushing 40 or over 40 because it doesn't matter how old they are anymore because you're not pro wrestling first. It's all about storylines and max profit and selling, merchandise and all that stuff. This makes me laugh at myself when I say this, but I'm being serious. What's next, TKO? What's next, Triple H? Nick Khan? Who's next? What longtime pro wrestler are you going to cut next because they're not making you max profit? Unfucking believable. I am like this close to quitting watching WWE. They pushed me away a handful of years ago and I didn't watch them for a while, especially when AEW started. But the last 2.5, 3 years, they slowly reeled me back in. And now after the TKO merger, they're just shoving me back out with all this bullshit going on. Like, great, you signed Mariah May. Bravo. Likely signing her. But you're losing RTruth. You're probably going to lose the MIZ next. You just cut Carlito and he was a waste. And it's just going to keep coming. And if that rumor about the swearing at recordings is true, that's just like taking the PG product and making it G-rated at this point. I mean, you can't go any lower than that at that point. I mean, PG, the only thing lower is G-rated product. Literally stuff for like toddlers. I mean, they're getting record low ratings this year. I mean, Raw, from the first episode of Netflix to now, has lost over 50% of its viewers now. Back-to-back weeks, Raw only got 2.7 million views on Netflix, the biggest streaming service in the world. It's available in like over 100 countries, if I remember right. And they're only averaging about 1 million more now with how low these ratings are than they were getting just on USA in America. It goes to show you that their product is definitely not favored in a larger market outside of the US. It's not. And TKO, I think, is really just going to make it worse. I really do. You see these record ticket prices going up, and I don't know how you can defend that. Even if you're the biggest E-stand possible, how can you defend like, oh, yeah, I'm totally fine getting screwed over by ticket prices. I'll totally pay 6 times more to go to SummerSlam versus All In. Even though All In is going to be the better show in terms of pure wrestling, it's not going to waste my fucking time with all these ads and promos and showcasing a celebrity every 10 goddamn minutes. Really, you can tell in this video I'm getting heated because that's truly how I feel about all of this right now. We'll see what happens on Raw tonight. That's all I had on this episode of Screw This Script. You let me know down below if you think I'm overreacting. I really don't think I am. I really feel like this is truly testing everybody's patience with WWE now and Triple H. And as always, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.